What's up, everybody out there in the wide world? Welcome back to the Expression of Love podcast, and welcome back to Become Your Own Breakthrough. Now, it was supposed to be a red tsunami. It was supposed to be a red wave. And we got a couple red raindrops. Now, obviously, there's cheating in elections. I'm not here to talk about cheating in elections. I'm here to talk about winning elections and what my opinion is on that subject, because I don't put it past anybody to engage in cheating. One, because I don't know any of them personally. And two, because cheating has been proven in the past for specific individuals. And so therefore, it's probably common, you know what I'm saying? So that's just a non-issue. So cheating aside for this whole conversation, because I don't think it's honorable, but I think it's a waste of time to harp on it too much, especially if, you know, we're not talking about a lawsuit or something where something's getting ready to be proven in court and it could change the whole situation. You know, praying for Arizona to straighten out, you know, whatever they have going on with their elections, because, you know, Carrie Lake really seemed like a decent person who was running on a very positive message and was authentic, you know, ready for a debate, ready for how the media was going to attack her, ready for anything. But what we are here to talk about is winning. Like, how do non-establishment politicians win? How do you rally people behind you as a candidate? How do you get points on the board if you're not already in office where you can push legislation and get it passed? How did Donald Trump win? The short answer is you have to rally the people behind a message. You have to get them to believe in you and to believe that you believe in something greater than yourself. The reason why Governor DeSantis was able to not only, you know, win the seat of governor, but also why he was able to completely change the color of the state of Florida, right? Florida was a pretty purple state, or some would say a blue state. Completely changed it to red. It's blood red right now. Why is that? Not only because he was able to actually get stuff done and was an effective governor, but also because he rallied people behind a message, right? His message included strengthening the family, Christian values, and most of all, fighting the woke mob. He said, we are for good things and we are against bad things. And he was authentic in that. You know, not only did he have the polished sort of politician look, right? He's very poised, and he can in his debate against his opponent, when they were trying to when his opponent tried to throw him off by asking him, are you going to do a full term? He simply looked at the moderator or arbiter, whatever they're called, looked at the person who was hosting the debate and said, "Is it my turn to speak?" And he waited his turn, and then when it was his turn, he had a nice little fiery comeback. I loved it. We all loved it. But he was able to stand on something, and since he stood on it authentically, right? Since he ran on his truth, right? Not only did he have a truth, but he ran his campaign on a truth, meaning he didn't try to pander to his voters. He cared about something, decided he was going to be the best person for the job to make a change, worked to make that change, and then when it was time to campaign again, he ran on that message. Same with Trump, right? Trump ran on build the wall, immigration, all of the illegal immigrants that are coming into the country that are not only flooding the streets with fentanyl right now and perpetuating and expanding the sex trafficking and drug trafficking rings that harm Americans, kill Americans, and put a lot of Americans in danger. But also the just the workers in general are hurt when you have this flood of people who are willing to come in and work for minimum wage or way less than you work for to do the same job that you do because they see it as an opportunity to grab some cash and then silently disappear when and if the time ever is right. And of course, if you run a business, especially if you have a lot of employees and you're very stressed out every day and you have suddenly a whole bunch of people that are willing to do hard jobs for cheap, you're going to hire them. I don't even necessarily think that in all of those cases, you'd be morally wrong to do so. Your business has to survive. Inflation and everything, is a risk to everybody. Back in 2020, Black Lives Matter and Antifa were destroying businesses left and right. So, hey, man, if it's here, sometimes I wouldn't do it, but sometimes, depending on what the business is and what kind of work you're doing, right? If it's agricultural, if it's mining, if it's construction, if, you might take that chance and you might do that. I don't have a business like that, and I don't have, my businesses deal with sending a message. So that's what I do. I probably will never have to be in a situation where I'm in a situation where I have this option over here that could save my business, but isn't good for the American worker, and this option over here, which could lead to my business's demise. I don't think I'll be in that situation. But the point is, he ran on build the wall, right? He ran on fake news, all of the BS news that circles around every single day on MSNBC, CNN, CBS News, ABC, all of the leftist, overlord run news stations. He ran on a message. I'm going to come in here, I'm going to put America first in terms of our economy and be less energy dependent and import dependent on other countries. We're going to bring jobs back to America. We're going to build the wall, and we're going to fight against and not accept the fake news, right? He had a message that people could rally behind. His character is not very nice. He has a pretty ugly character in a lot of people's opinions. No disrespect. He's an ugly character. A lot of people feel like, I wish he was different. But in terms of somebody that can get things done, and in terms of somebody that has a message that I can rally behind, he's the guy over, it was over Hillary, and now second time it was over Biden. What matters is that not only do you have to know that you can do your job, But you also have to know that you doing your job is going to help the American people and how it is going to help them if you're a politician. That's what matters. Not that you're running all by itself. Like I think this uh Oz, I think Oz lost to somebody that has brain damage and cannot speak clearly because, well, not only because he's a weirdo for running in a state he didn't live in, but also because he was just running to run, just running for Senate's sake. I'm just gonna run. I'm gonna run. And then he was endorsed, and then he was picked as the main runner, and never really defined for the people exactly what he was fighting for and exactly what problems he was going to solve. And so, with that out of the way, I want to go ahead and talk about us. Who's us? Us! Me and you, baby! The citizens, the civilians, the people who are now watching the results happen and later we'll be returning to work in our regular schedules, paying for, gas, making the donuts and doing our thing. What is important for us to know right now? Well, I think it's important that we fight on, that we press on, that we crack on, as they say in one of my favorite movies, Sherlock Holmes with Downey Jr., Robert Downey Jr. He said, "Can we crack on?" But that's what's important right now, is that we realize that even though we were expecting a red tsunami, a red wave, and all we got is a couple red raindrops, a couple bloody teardrops, that the fight is still on, and the responsibility for cleaning up our streets, for holding politicians accountable, for making our voice heard when it comes to problems that we can't solve without government assistance, and for starting the businesses and pulling together the community in a way that gets the jobs done that need to get done, right? And educating our children. The responsibilities still fall on us. If the best candidate loses, the responsibility is mostly on us. If the best candidate wins, the responsibility is still mostly on us. We have to go and be active in our children's schooling if we're not able to pull them out of public school and homeschool them. We have to be active in our communities. We have to be active in communication with our local officials. It's on us, people. And that's not bad news, right? Especially for those of you in, New York and LA and these places that have been completely devastated by Democrats. And you see that they're still being reelected, right in front of your face, that people are choosing tyranny because freedom comes with too much responsibility for them and whatever else reason that these tyrants are being reelected. You who fight for freedom, you must understand that the responsibility that comes with freedom often means you fighting for what's right, even when nobody on your side is looking at you. And what that doesn't mean necessarily is going into the comment sections of social media posts and voicing your opinion. No, it means slowly but surely and practically finding ways to make a difference in your family, your household, in your community, people that you can reach both online and offline, and your, sort of neighborhood, if it's, again, practically, so if it's safe for you to do so. as well as your job if you have a role where your voice matters. And if not, then work your way up to a role where your voice matters and you can make positive change there. All we really need is for the truth to be heard, right? That's why I started this movement, hashtag tell the truth, because historically, revolutions that worked, revolutions that led to the good guy winning, usually the bad guys outnumbered the good guys. The only thing that was necessary for the good guys to win was that they consistently, feverishly told the truth. That was it. That's all we need. And to tell the truth, you have to know the truth. So sometimes the truth is, well, I don't know what the best thing to do with that is, but I know that this is wrong, right? Sometimes that's all you have. And then sometimes on top of that, you don't have all the time in the world to research things, but you still must tell the truth. And I mean fearlessly, right? I mean, you can get a couple practice rounds in on social media. You know you'll get attacked. You know you'll deal with people saying wild things. It's actually kind of funny, since I started telling the truth online. The more factual you are with your approach to telling the truth online, the more incoherent the liars get. Like, I remember this one response that I got to a post that I put on TikTok where I was explaining that America is not some uniquely horrible place when it came to slavery. 90 to 95% of Africans brought to the New World were sold by other Africans, captured by other Africans, and sold by other Africans. The Europeans did not have the manpower to go inland from West Africa and capture a bunch of people and drag them out all the way back to their ships. They didn't have the manpower. They came up to the docks and they were already slaves waiting for them. And that's largely how the slave trade was conducted, at least, from West Africa to the New World. Either way, I made a post that explained, a little bit about how you need to stop being so anti-American. Slavery was a worldwide thing, and the worldwide concept of slavery is lost in the way that the critical race theory proponents like to teach slavery in schools today, which puts students against each other, puts a false narrative that white skin means evil and black skin means righteous or innocent. And we need to stop teaching slavery outside of the world slavery context. We need to stop teaching American slavery outside of its proper context, which is world slavery. Not stop teaching about it, but teach it in its proper context. And people came on, and somebody said, like, nah, man, we trying to get some money. We trying to get this money, this reparations for, we trying to get this money like your grandpa and them. Yeah, I'm serious, man. If I can, I'll put the screenshot on the screen from this this incoherent mess. So I say all that to say you can have some practice rounds of speaking your truth and speaking the truth into the public arena and seeing what kind of responses that you get. Also know that not everything has to be a debate. Some people are not going to listen to you, and so who's the real target when you are talking and speaking the truth? The real target is the children. Tell the children the truth. Tell the youth the truth. Empower the youth with the truth, so that when they face adults who are so lost in the lie that they'll never admit the truth, they will know not to mess with them. They will know not to associate with them, and they will know how to finesse their way out of situations because they will be empowered with the truth. The truth is always multiples stronger, exponentially stronger than the lie. But the lie the numbers, right? The manpower. The lie will have the manpower. The truth is strong on its own. I invite you to join me in the hashtag Tell the Truth movement. I thank you again for rocking out with me for so long. Make sure to leave a comment. It is specifically the Tell the Truth movement that creates the opportunity for you to take your life back and become your own breakthrough. Make sure you leave a comment. Thank you so very much for rocking out with me. You already know whether you're leaving a comment to argue with something I said, leaving a comment to support something I said. I want to interact with you in the comments. And don't forget, the responsibility is on us. Do your part, even if it's a little part, every single day. Yeah, man. It is your host, Soul Expression of the Expression of Love podcast, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.
Expressions of